Namaste, namaste. How's everybody doing? What is this box? I got this box. Oh, yeah, that's for my stepdaughter. Okay. I look a mess, so you're not gonna see me. I'm here to do hi, Chatty Chickie. I'm here to do a very important, quick video on Nancy Guthrie. And let me get my cards. I just started writing cards, out index cards, and usually, I do something else, but it was telling me I was just getting all these words. I didn't really see much of the case. I just found out about it, and her name is Nancy Guthrie. Of course, her daughter is Savannah Guthrie, the news reporter. Okay. Yeah. And I've seen a couple of pictures of her, but by the time I pull it up for you guys, I don't really need to pull it up because I've already been meditating on her. Oh, sorry. Let's just put her name over by Jesus. And prayers are up for her mother who is missing. Okay. All right. So let's, this is going to be in no particular order. I think they said she went missing Sunday, but I thought that the last time they saw her was Saturday. So I'm not 100% sure if it was Saturday or Sunday, but between the hours, I'm just going by what I feel, and maybe I've heard some news, but early in the morning, between Saturday and Sunday, that just passed, she was taken from the home and kidnapped. And I kept hearing stepson, stepdaughter, stepchild. I don't know what that means because I did look up. I had Devin look up to see if she had been married twice and had anybody that was a stepchild. And he only found one marriage. But maybe this person seemed like a stepchild to her. Maybe this person seemed like always said, well, you're my stepdaughter, or you're my stepson, or you're like a stepson. You're like my kid, She has 3 kids, apparently. I know that is definitely 2 daughters, one being Savannah. Oh, she has a pacemaker. Hi, WW. I didn't know she had a pacemaker, but I knew that she needed her medication. And she has a cane, and she's 84 years old. So, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to just read my cards and tell you what I got. Just in. It's kind of sort of a ransom note. They mailed it into TMZ, or TMZ got their hands on it, and of course the police know much more than they're saying. But they said that the family has to get money to get her back, and it has to be in Bitcoin, and they gave a Bitcoin address. Okay, these are facts. They gave a Bitcoin address, and they also described what Nancy was wearing. And something in the house. I think that was either broken or just something personal that was in the house. So they're trying to let people know that they're the real deal, that they really have Nancy. Okay. That just came in when I was coming over to the table to do my reading. It won't be a long one because I have some stuff to do that I didn't do yesterday because I was having a bad day yesterday. Yesterday was my sister's birthday, the first birthday in heaven, and I just couldn't stop crying all day, and I really didn't get much done at all. I just really went to the mailbox, to the post office, and mailed something that I needed to mail. And that was it. But yeah, so the Bitcoin and address. All right. We have Nancy Guthrie. I wrote it down and I was tapping in. But even before I wrote her name, I started tapping in. I got NG. Nancy did not cooperate with the plan. Okay, so in other words, I see them like it's almost like I hear Dee Dee. Yeah, they did what they did to me, Katrina. Dee Dee Blanchard, Gypsy's mother, because she awoke and saw somebody standing over her, and she said, "Who are you? Like, what are you doing here?" Whereas Nancy said, "I didn't know you. Why are you here? Like, it's so late. It was like between 3 and 4 a.m. And all of a sudden they're standing like in her room. But the thing is, with Nancy, she would get up several times in the night. She was a light sleeper, but she did have medication that she was taking. But I feel like her heart is fluttering, like when your heart skips a beat. And so that's why she got up. She was getting water. She was using the bathroom. So she really wasn't in a deep sleep. And I feel like she's an early riser, like she gets up at like 5 or 6 anyway. So I don't think they expected that, because like if somebody's sleeping and like in their bed, it's a little bit easier, I guess, to take advantage of them and to say cooperate. But I feel like she knew the person. All right, so these are the two people that I get so far. There could be more involved. I get a dark eyes, olive complexion male. He's between 5'7". He has a muscular build, very strong, but mostly like his muscles, like from his waist up, and he has a little bit of a belly. Like a little bit chubby. He can get very chubby, but he's very muscular because he does manual work, labor, like landscape, trees, flowers, bushes. And something with the trees and the bushes comes to my mind. I don't know if he was a tree trimmer or, but I see like indirectly, and he definitely knows 2 languages. Okay. And this is all allegedly. I could be wrong. This is for entertainment reasons only. The only thing I will say that is correct is that Nancy Guthrie is missing, and please pray for her. Please, dear God, help us to find Savannah's mom, Nancy Guthrie. She's an 84-year-old lady. You already know who she is. She's very, very spiritual, religious, and she loves you. Please keep her safe. Surround her with angels. Surround her with Archangel Michael to help guide her to get home. Thank you, dear God, in Jesus' name. Amen. I also got something with a will or a loan and bank fraud. Okay. When I feel that, my heart feels like it's being squeezed. Squoze and squeezed. How do you say that? I'm having troubles talking a little bit, so I feel like somebody has, like maybe Nancy, something on her throat. Like she's going, like she's clearing her throat a lot. Or somebody around her is clearing their throat. Okay, so the second person that I see was like between 5'3" and 5'4". Okay, but they wear boots, like if they wear boots or a little bit of a heel, that's why they look taller. A thin build, they're pretty thin. They have reddish hair, but there's a weird thing with their hair. Okay, they're blue to hazel eyes. What do I mean by that? Well, you girl, I have blue and then sometimes my eyes turn green. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. They're really pretty and mystical eyes. Okay. The weird thing with this person's hair, this female, and I want to say 40s, but they might even be more in the early 50s because they just look younger than what they are. I think because they're so petite. Okay, so yeah, because Spirit just showed me age and a question mark. So I'm gonna say they look in the 40s, and sometimes they could even dress like younger with like a sweatshirt or a hoodie, like dress like a kid. Um, and they could look younger, but if you really get up close, they could be in their late 40s to 50s. Okay, anyhow, not important. Their hair is reddish, but then maybe it's dyed blonde, but then it's brown, then it's black. This was weird. This was a weird vision that I had. And so I was writing this down, and I know this sounds nuts, but this might be a clue. So the hair is reddish. Maybe the hair was reddish like to begin with, or is right now, or when they were little. Like their hair before they touched it was like a reddish hair, maybe a deep strawberry blonde. Okay, but then they dyed it blonde, all blonde. Then they dyed it brown. Then they dyed it black. Then back to auburn. And they could be wearing a dark cap or hat. Okay, like to cover up, specifically to cover up their hair. Okay, I don't know if that helps anybody. And then this is a crazy one. They had the key from a long time ago. They might be working with somebody who works the landscape. I don't think it was the landscape person's idea, but they were like, if you help me, I will give you money. Okay. That feels a little bit, that feels like I get like a 80% on that, but I don't get a 98%. Okay. I tend to feel about people like I want to see the goodness in them. So sometimes God shelters me from feeling like these people are setting out to do this for like 2 years or a year or 6 months to a year. Like, I don't want to think that way, but I have to when I'm doing these cases. Okay, so they had the key from a long time ago. Like, there was an issue with the key, and then I think Nancy thought that she changed the locks or just got the key back. And both of those things didn't happen. They also could have made another key. Like, in other words, I don't think any alarms went off. I don't think she had too many alarms in the house. Apparently, they didn't have any footage of her leaving the house or coming back to the house. So that's a shame. Okay. Are they related to her? This is the feeling that I woke up to. Are they related by marriage? That's why I was getting the word step. You're a step daughter, you're a stepson. Or and if she was never married and she just has 3 kids, is one of the kids feeling like they're a step kid? Okay, that's important. That's important because if you feel like a step kid and not a biological kid, sometimes you might think, oh, you're not going to get in the will, you're not going to get treated the same, or you're not going to be loved the same, that type of thing. Okay. I see her in her bedroom. I see the bathroom right across. And remember I told you she just maybe got out of the bed, went to the bathroom, and got back into the bed. So she was in a light sleep. She was not in a deep sleep. And I think she heard something too. I don't know if she had any animals. Somebody keeps talking about that she had a dog, but I didn't hear anybody else say if the dog was still there. So put into a car, a SUV type of car, I feel. Not her car. Her car is still there. Her phone, everything was still there. Medication, still there. taken to the second location, possibly a third. I feel very hot on that. So now 3 locations. Whatever happened in the house is the first location, and the second location being driven to, and then the third. But when I looked at the picture of her, I didn't feel strong about her living long. And I say that allegedly, and that's just in my opinion, because unless she gets to the hospital, unless she gets a medication. And there could be somebody who's a nurse or nurse-like or doctor-like that is there at the third location. But I do feel like as I sit here and do this reading and look at Jesus's face, see, this isn't done yet. This still gonna be flowers that I'm putting up on it, and I do one more shellac. But I just, like I said, I couldn't do anything yesterday because I'm still grieving my sister who died May 4th, 2025. And her birthday was hard for me. So put into a car, taken to the second location, possibly a third, 2 people, at least 2 people, because a third person has to know, because they took them to another location. Okay. SUV type of car. I can't get the color, and then I drew this picture because I didn't feel good. I did not feel good, and that's why we're praying. Yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say, but like a couple of messages are coming in, so I wasn't sure. Okay, in the days of surveillance, God sees all. However, yes, we need more preventive surveillance. Yes. Yeah, God does see all, but for an 84-year-old lady that is fairly wealthy, very wealthy, she has a wealthy daughter, and, I understand people want to live on their own, they're independent. I'm sure I'll feel like that too. But she should have a care worker that visits, I think she has people that drive her to church and back and maybe to the store and back. And she definitely should have had updated surveillance. Maybe she did. Maybe we're going to find out she did and somebody disconnected them. That could be too. Okay. Anyhow, they surprised Nancy around 3 to 4 a.m. I feel really hot on this, like 98%. But Nancy is a fairly light sleeper. She had medication. She's on medication that she's taking. I felt really hot on that one. Okay, and it's fine, if you don't believe me, that's okay. I'm just trying to do a read to help and get it out there to Mystic Brady Bunch, and so that somebody's mom who's innocent 84-year-old lady should not, be taken out of her own home in the middle of the night and, violently be treated this way. Okay. You're caring for your father. He has dementia, but it's very hard. You promised him you wouldn't put him in a home. There's a ransom note at Teams. Yes, I just saw that ransom note, and I did include it. That was the first card I did. That was the Bitcoin and the address. They gave a Bitcoin that they want, how much money they want. They give an address to send it to electronically, I believe. And they also said specific things that Nancy was wearing and something in the home. And so that only the family would know. And only anybody who was in the house would know. So, yeah, it's creepy. It's really creepy. that this is going on. So I think I showed this card before, a stepchild, a stepdaughter, a stepson. And if she doesn't have them, it's somebody who feels like they are. Then I have also a caregiver, land care. Okay. And on this, I don't have a picture yet, but on this, I will pull up a picture just so. Okay, then I have, and then like this whole reading, I feel like somebody is strangling me, my throat, like putting pressure on my throat, right? Like think of your throat as having a butterfly, which we do. With our thyroid is like a butterfly on our throat, right? Like somebody pushing in those two spots, or her just feeling that way. You know, her feeling like I'm choking. See, it's causing me to cough. Okay. Whoever has her is involved with something on this card, an addiction that's either gambling, alcohol, definitely greed, money greed, fraud. Fraud came up twice. So I'm going to feel like 98% on fraud, like real estate fraud. And I know I spelt that wrong because when I am getting a message, I have to write it quickly. And that's what happened with that. Is there anything else, spirit guides? Yes, I just before I push the button to come on and do this little fast video. It's not so fast because it's 22 minutes. I saw the TMZ thing. And at first, a lot of people were saying they didn't believe the TMZ thing. They think, you know, somebody else is just trying to get money. But I kind of believe it. I believe that whoever took her is wrote a note about with TMZ, to TMZ, or the note that TMZ got. If you have any tips, and her house is in Arizona. If you know anything about this woman, please dial 520-351-4900, 520-351-4900. That is the FBI that's working on the case. Time is of the essence, and let me just put you down for a second so I can get the picture up, and then I'm gonna have to tap out. How's everybody doing otherwise? Thanks for being here. I know I don't usually come on this early. And I usually do like I was going to do a TikTok, but I said, no, let me do a YouTube for my YouTube family, right? Because I have more.
I think it's a 250.
Yeah, that's I'm just trying to get a picture. Picture of Nancy Guthrie, missing woman, Nancy Guthrie.
Showing pictures that match.
Okay, here we go. I know I'm going to set myself on fire with my candle, but I needed, because I can't light anything anymore in the house. I had to at least have my candle. There she is, you know, typical pretty little older lady, right? Looks like she has brown eyes. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, don't look at me. I look terrible. Let's see. It's not going big for me. And there's her daughter, one of her daughters, Savannah Guthrie. And I believe she just had her on the show. I don't know why it's not giving me her. It's not letting me open this up. Looks like she's 84, she's 150 pounds, and she's 5'5". Oh, she has blue eyes. So you can't tell from this picture. She has blue eyes, but don't they look a little hazel? Let's see if there's a better picture of her. Here's a picture a few years back. Her and her daughter. I mean, Savannah Guthrie is so cute and pretty too. And I think Devin told me her father passed away from a heart attack a couple of years ago.
Here are the top search results.
Sorry. One second. Okay. Nancy Guthrie.
According to Google Books, Nancy Guthrie teaches the Bible at her home church.
No, that can't be her. Google's not cooperating. Pictures of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie.
Showing pictures that match.
Okay. None of the pictures are close. But here you could see she has the cane. In my vision, I saw her and the cane, looking for her cane. She's very dependent on the cane. I mean, you know, there might be a leg problem or a back problem, but she's 84. Come on. And I also saw a walker in the house in my vision. You know, one of those walkers, like I feel like it has like rolling wheels on it too. She had that by the bed. I mean, at least in my vision. Can I be wrong? Yeah, I'm not God. But I think this is a good picture of her. Not that you're seeing her. Don't look at me. Don't look at me, please. Okay, wait. Let's see. That's a nice picture. And so when I touch her energy, there's an issue with her glasses too. Oh boy. Okay, I don't know what is happening with my iPad, but it's not being cooperative. Anyhow, that's all I have, guys. I didn't even really want to get involved in it. I have to ask my son about the Bitcoin thing because he does Bitcoin. He knows all about that jazz. So I might give him a call and see if he answers me about it. But anyhow, please put prayers up for Nancy Guthrie. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm only trying to find missing people. And, you know, it's, in my opinion, it's my visions. And I can be wrong, but what if I'm right? Love you. Oh, you read somewhere that she has a walker too? It's so weird because I saw that walker and I didn't understand, like, you know, like, of course, everybody can have a cane. You know, Devin has like 7,000 of them. Because, you know, he can't just buy one of them. He has to have 700. But I see her like with a favorite cane. Maybe she has like 2 or 3 of them. She doesn't have that many. And then she has this walker near the bed. Like, because when she wants to get up in the middle of the night, in case she's dizzy, she wants to have that walker there. $7,000 cane? Yeah, he has 7,000. If I count them, I'll get mad and I'll get depressed and then I'll start yelling at him for being a hoarder. Yeah. Who said hurricane? Is there a hurricane where you are? Yeah, we got to take, I wish I could have time to take care of my mother and father, but they both died young. My mother died at 53. My father died at 63 and a half, going on 64. But I wish I did. I wish I could. Anyway. If you missed the beginning, don't worry. You could play it back. I'm going to post this now, and then in about a half hour, it'll all be up in its entirety. It's just like 22 minutes. If I hear anything else, guys, I'll come back a little bit later, but I got to get a couple of things done, so I'm going to go. And I love you. And thank you for praying for Nancy Guthrie. And thank you for asking God to protect our mothers, fathers, our family, our children. And just in your mind, ask God to send Archangel Michael to wherever she is. And angels, because they help. God will send them, and sometimes they'll come in the flesh. So it's the whole point is everybody pray. If everybody's praying, miracles happen. Okay, love you guys. Namaste.